If you talk to me for more than 45 seconds, you'll probably find out very quickly that I am a huge nerd for the movie Tron from 1982. So I absolutely had to just try my hand at making a game of LightCycles. You've probably already guessed based on the scene right here what it was. I did make this light cycle model myself, which I'm very proud of. I'm not a huge modeler, but it was actually a pretty simple model overall, so it wasn't a huge achievement, but I was very proud of it. But it's not fully complete yet for reasons I'll explain in just a second, but it's about the closest thing I have in the works right now to a fully fledged game. So if I hit play here, we're dumped into the main menu where you can pick the color of your bike, and that color gets saved into the game instance and will get transferred over to another level here in just a second. So it's consistent, but you can pick any color you want. Let's pick a nice blue. And then if I start the game, there's a cool kind of resin animation with some materials and the overlay material. And you can just drive on a bike that makes only 90-degree turns. You can zoom out. I need to adjust that a little bit. It's kind of choppy. But yeah, you can just fly around until you bump into something. And then you lose. Then it kicks you right back to the main menu where you get to go again. You'll notice the only thing that is really missing is bots to play against. I haven't put that in yet. So as of right now, there's no way to win. You can't win by outlasting all the other bots. You can only lose by running into your own light trail at the moment. So that's the last major element that needs to be put in. And then I would put some controls in here at the front maybe to say how many bots you want to play against, and if there were different levels of AI strength, maybe you could pick how smart they are. So let me pick a different color and go back into the game. This animation right here, the resin animation, this is making use of the overlay material, which was introduced in 5.2. I actually had to pull this project forward into 5.2 to get use of that. I think I started this thing in one of the original versions of just 5. But the overlay material made it super easy. It's super cool. And so it plays through that cool little animation and then makes the light trail. Oh, and then the light trail is kind of the coup de grace of this whole thing. This is a procedural mesh. I learned about procedural meshes to be able to do this. This is an actor component that's made in native C++ that generates this wall. It's pretty simple because it's kind of just boxes and 90-degree corners, but this entire wall is one mesh that has different sections. Every time you make a right turn, it makes a new section. And it does, you can't really see it, but it does actually miter the corners really nicely. So there is a nice 45-degree corner join right there in the boxes, so it's very high quality and high fidelity, and I'm quite proud of it. Oh, and then the materials are kind of whack. The lighting in this level is a little bit whack because if you watch the original movie, you'll notice that there are very few shadows and everything is very almost cel-shaded. So you'll notice that there is a little bit of shadow right here. There is one single very weak directional light pointing down to make some shadows, but most of the lighting is coming from the fact that all of these materials in the whole level are emissive. It's the only way I could get that very sort of flat, but very lightly shaded. Like right here on the front wheel here, you can kind of see there's a tiny bit of shadowing from that directional light, but not very much. Without that shadowing at all, it looks completely weird, but I needed just a tiny little bit. So all of these materials, including the ground, this is actually a material too. This isn't like a text or anything. I'm actually generating this crosshatch pattern through a material, but it's also emissive, meaning it was kind of a beast to get color balancing right because it had to be adjusted per material how emissive it was. But it was the only way that I could find to get a look that looked reminiscent of the actual movie. Oh, let me take control again. Just crash again. Yoink. And then we're back to the start. Yeah, so it's pretty fun to make. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it pretty soon. Like I said, it's pretty close. It just needs some bots to play against. But it's fun to make and hopefully interesting for you guys to see. Thank you.